Hey girl, welcome to the Black Girl Voices podcast. I'm Shivaun,
And I'm Whitney.
and every week we get together to laugh, cry, shade, and share everything from pop culture to racism.
So grab your headphones and your oversized mug and come and join the conversation.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Hey, y'all.
Yes, it's your favorite duo here to respectfully drag you with love.
Is that what?
Respectfully drag you with love. Respectfully. Whitney, what's going on, girl?
Hi, my love.
What's the tea? Hi. We try not to talk before we start these podcasts, y'all, because there's been like 3 episodes where we had so much good things that we could have shared,
And we didn't.
but we
Just
talked
didn't.
about it all before we started recording.
Just having a good conversation with my friend.
So like
here.
when we first pop on, it's like awkward because we're trying so hard not to talk and share too much with each other because we're like dying to like start.
Quiet.
Yeah.
I would say I'm good, but I have to wait till the grievances to explain why I might sound a little funny. But how are
Okay.
you, though?
Okay. So I have to share self drag. I have not even shared with Whitney, but I have to share self drag.
Oh no.
And I think this will probably be a good thing to share for like maybe talk about further in our episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's Black women, we need to sit our ass down.
Okay, sermon.
We
Sermon on
normally
the Mount.
record on Wednesdays, and the storm has knocked the power out over by Whitney, y'all.
Yes.
It somehow missed us in DC, like, but I was
Praise him.
scared. Yes,
Praise him.
got a lot of rain, but that was it. But so Tuesday night, I was in the ER, chest pains. Okay, I've been having these chest pains since Monday.
Ma'am.
However, Black women, right? Like I was like, it's not that bad. Like, this is I think we gaslight ourselves a lot, like me
We do.
specifically, but definitely Black women, we gaslight ourselves a lot. I in 2000 I broke my entire hand and walked around with a broken hand for 3 days because I gaslighted
Ma'am.
myself. And we'll share more about that in our divorce episodes because that also was like a DV situation. But
Lord have
walked
mercy.
around with a broken hand for like 3 days because I was like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So Monday, woke up, had some chest pains. I'm good now, y'all. It ended up being I've been sick for a while, so it's like lung and not heart. Like respiratory. But
Yeah.
I'm good.
Praise him. Praise God.
Sitting my ass down. I'm
Oh,
sitting my
indeed.
ass down.
Rest. Yes.
Yeah, and it made me reevaluate a little bit about the things that I stress over.
Hello.
Because it's truly not that damn important. And I think my dad said something to me when I was talking. He recently lost his mom last year and she had a heart attack. And she was a caregiver. And that stress killed her.
Jesus.
And I think it scared him a little bit. And he said, you gotta fight to save the world. Like you gotta save yourself. And I was like,
A word.
whoa,
A word.
whoa.
No.
Drag me, Dad, but also,
No,
yeah,
there's actually evidence that proves that, just being exposed to racism is extraordinarily detrimental to your health.
yeah.
There's actual data. We can prove it through the data.
Yeah.
So your dad's not wrong, child. Sit
Listen,
your ass down.
I am at the age where my parents are never wrong anymore. Like every time they say something, I'm like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir.
It might be a little outdated, but
It's always a little outdated now. Okay, but they know what they're talking about.
do.
Yes. So, mom and dad, if you're listening,
Hey,
you
y'all.
do know what you're talking about.
You do.
And I do listen and I love you guys. And
We
I'm
might roll
sitting
our
my
eyes.
ass down. Or excuse me, if you're listening, I'm sitting my butt down. So
I'm sorry, mom and dad. We're gonna
I'm
cuss.
sorry for the rest of the episode, but
Yeah, we gonna cuss.
yeah, we don't cuss. But to you, I'm sitting my behind down.
Behind tail.
So yeah, so I wanted to share that because I felt like it was important to
Mhm.
And I feel like we can even tie it into like quading gay, like being the pioneers of shit and like
Girl.
trying to save the world. Like I even think about like for weeks I've been staying up late just thinking about Palestine and Congo
Girl.
and
Girl.
it the videos that I don't do it as much now, like force myself to watch it, but for a while I was forcing myself to
I
watch it
can't do it.
because
I
I
can't do
felt
it.
guilt. Like I was like, who do I get? Like who am I to get to look away? But I told myself, how can I fight for other people
If you don't
if
take care of
I
yourself.
am in the toilet?
Um, I'm gonna say this, and people are not gonna like it. And I need to make that very sorry, parents, because I know my mom and my dad are just like,
This part is over now.
wait. My
This
mom and my dad,
you're listening.
they hate
We
it when I
love you,
cuss.
Whitney's parents. We're sorry.
Because that's conversations we've had before. Like, you are a woman of God. Why are you cussing? I was like, you know what, though? Sometimes you need some strong language to emphasize the point. Just a
I love
little,
the Lord.
an exclamation point, as it were.
Yeah.
But as far as advocacy, like because of just our internalized trauma and because of the goddamn daily,
Mm,
regular, they call it microaggressions, but there's nothing micro about those aggressions.
no,
Nothing.
nothing.
Black women don't owe anyone any advocacy, and we don't owe anyone any presence. The fact that we still show up is a gift, and people need to know that. That being said, like we are honored to do the work that we do, but at the same time, it's not owed to anyone, and people need
That's
to
the
understand
thing.
that because I had a white liberal come into my comment section of a video that I put out.
They're
This
the
is a
worst.
Can we go to the grievances? Because I want to yell.
Yes. Can we go to the grievances? Yes, please, please. Y'all
I'm
know I
sorry,
live
y'all.
for the grievances. Let's
Come
go
on
to the
here to
grievances.
complain and kiki.
And my grievance is childish today. So
At
go.
church?
No, childish. Mine is childish.
Oh, mine might be. Mine
No,
might be.
no, go, go, go. You know I live for these.
Um, anyway,
Live for these.
white liberal, right?
Okay.
Comes into my comment section to fuss at me because I'm saying I was very clear. I said your Islamophobia and your anti-Semitism does nothing to help what's going on in Palestine with Israel, right?
Clear.
Very clear. Because I'm like,
Non-controversial.
your hatred has your hatred is not helpful to anyone in that situation. Period. In fact, your hatred is not helpful to anyone who's not in that situation. Because then you have Palestinian Americans getting shot in the street, or the little boy. Why? Oh my God, I'll never get over that poor sweet child. 6 years old.
I will take it even more
Never
recent
get
than
over
the
it.
little boy. The couple that just got dragged off the plane. I don't know if you saw that.
Wait.
Just happened. Okay. They were speaking
No.
Arabic, and then a person, I don't know, their gender or who, white or whatever. I think it was a white person though. Was complaining that they were speaking Arabic and they kept going back and forth to the bathroom. So,
They might be feeling sick. What's the problem? Why is
so
it
they
your
got taken
business?
off the plane.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Back to 9/11.
Let me
We are
find,
back to 9/11 where people, Muslim people,
they don't get a
Arab
right to
people
exist.
were
Even
literally,
Sikhs. Even Sikhs who have
yes,
nothing to do with
scrutinized
anybody. Right.
and terrorized for years trying to travel. That's where we're at because
Existing.
because of
Just
Islamophobia.
just trying to exist. Brown people just trying to exist. So I said that because I'm gonna look up that story because that might be a
Girl,
post. That might be a post yet coming. Because you know how I feel. And this lady came into my comment section. She was like, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't remember exactly everything that she said, but it was a bunch of BS saying, basically talking about anti-Semitism isn't real. And I'm like, girl, there are bomb threats against synagogues. Bomb threats against synagogues here.
that were happening before Palestine and Israel, right? This was happening before.
Yeah. Like, how
Yeah.
dare you, how dare you look beyond the hatred. Oh yeah, and she said this point. She was like, those people, they don't even like Gentiles. They would like spit on you and stuff like that. I'm like, I know plenty of Jewish folks who have never. I don't have to do that. I
Get
do
on
not
me.
have to do that. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
My point. is your hatred does not help. And as soon as you apply hatred to your advocacy, it diminishes your advocacy. It diminishes your humanity. And that is why we keep saying your Islamophobia, your anti-Semitism, your racism, your bigotry, your ableism, your misogyny, like your misandry, all that stuff with the power structures that be is not welcome in the spaces because it does not help anyone. If it's not focused on humanity, it's not welcome. And I don't care how cute you think you are because you read White Rage. Get the hell out of my comment section. Now that's what I asked. I said, whose well-meaning liberal is this? Quotation marks. Whose friend who read a
Not
little
White
bit too
Rage.
much? You know White Rage.
Oh my god. Is that the one with oh my gosh, what is my
Robin
my
D'Angelo?
book Grievance? Yes, that's my book. That's is that the one that everybody was reading?
Yes.
Yes.
And kept sharing on their lists.
We're like, this is where to start.
I'm like, it's
This
all
white
right.
woman, this is who we start with.
Now, mind you, there's a whole bunch of Black people who've been talking about this forever.
And couldn't sell their books because nobody wanted to read about race.
It's not applicable until it becomes until it becomes another white person, because we could say the same thing about Kim Kardashian and Black. It's like, it's not cool until a white person does it. That's when people think that the barrier of entry is down. Otherwise, it's ghetto and it's tacky. And that's why I think it's really funny. There's this company called Ghetto Until Proven Fashionable, and they point that stuff out in fashion.
On Instagram, I gotta follow them.
It is. It's on Instagram. I believe it's on Instagram, but I think it might be on TikTok too. I like that.
I love a page that points out, like, that's specifically for pointing out hypocrisy, because you know me, I'm a hypocrisy chronicles girl. Like, I'm bringing it up.
Okay, Patty LaBelle,
bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up.
My other grievances for myself, Whitney, you gotta stop sleeping like a rag doll. My God. So I guess if you hear me breathing funny, it is because your friend. All right, since we all girlfriends here. This is a safe space, right? We all girlfriends here.
Yes.
Your girlfriend is top heavy, especially after that baby happened.
Girl,
you know how the Grinch, his heart grew 3 sizes.
Your boobs did? Yeah, girl. I used to want boobs. I would like to go back in time and slap the shit out of myself. Just saying.
A D cup would have been satisfactory.
Oh my gosh, are you bigger than a D cup?
I am.
That's painful. Because I'm a D.
Am. F.
Oh my god.
I was like, they made you going deep in alphabet.
Yes, they make like sizes bigger than that.
I know they do, but I found this out. So I fell asleep in an awkward way. And I'm also of the age of, you're waking up every morning and doing an assessment of your body to see what hurts today.
Yes. Yes.
I hurt my back. And I hurt my back right behind, like where the chest is, where the boobs are, right behind there is where the back hurts.
Like almost in the shoulder blade, like
no, like right in the middle, right in the center, in the spine area. Because I felt the way I fell asleep, it was like, you've seen Toy Story, right? When they're like, Andy's coming, and all the toys fall out. That's the way I fell asleep.
I've started sleeping like, it's really funny. My husband hates it, but like a vampire / hospital.
Like this?
Okay.
Put your hands across your chest?
I have 2 pillows behind me.
What is happening?
I've got one pillow here, like a firm pillow right here. Okay. And I like lay down and like put my arm like around it like this. And I've got the body pillow on this side. And I'm sleeping.
Oh, yes, body pillow. I need to get my body pillow back.
You got to get a body pillow. And I'm sleeping like kind of propped up like in a hospital bed.
Is there a reason?
It's help. Okay. So I really need to, again, I'm going to drag myself. I was supposed to go get a sleep study done.
Drag.
Girl, it's the episode of Dragging Yourself. I was supposed to get a sleep study done because Trey noticed I was like gasping in my sleep. So probably sleep apnea.
Oh no, honey.
Like, so it's helped with like, I guess my airways being clear. So I started sleeping like that, but also I noticed it was better for like me not waking up in weird ass positions because I sleep insane, just like you, like all over the bed. leg behind my head,
All
well, I
kind of
wish
weird
my leg
stuff.
could go behind my head, but
Oh, oh, woo, woo, woo,
you know.
woo, woo. Different episode. Patreon.
Shut
Patreon after dark.
Actually, I shouldn't say sorry, mom, because my mom knows that I'm
You
just,
are a married woman.
yeah, but she knows I'm just wild,
Not
crazy.
even
I'm gonna
just
say whatever.
living your life and enjoying yourself, and that's
Just
fine. That's
living my
welcome.
life.
Good
Okay.
and grown. Good and grown.
Yes. Grown as hell.
Yes, we sleep like Andy's toys.
Who gave us a podcast?
Who
Um,
gave it to us? I think we took it.
I think we did. Um,
100%
what
took
is
it.
my grievance? Oh, okay. My grievance is I guess my grievance isn't that petty actually. I am tired. And again, I guess this all ties into our episode. I follow Jackie Aina, love her, love Jackie
Oh,
Aina. I started
oh,
following her like years ago, back when I was like, oh, I want to like
I
learn
wish I
how to do
had.
makeup.
I wish I had.
Right. I don't do it anymore. Like, I don't care about doing makeup anymore. I follow her because she has successfully transformed herself into a woman of boundaries, a woman of I'm gonna do what I
Yes.
want. Y'all don't put me in a box. She's doing
Yes.
like home decor, and she is not afraid to share about her love of like luxury
Yes.
and soft life and all of it.
Yes.
Love it. So I follow her now because it's very like grown woman. It's very I do what I want. I've invited you into the space.
But I can also kick you out.
I can remove you.
Yeah.
And she gets people together. So love Jackie Aina.
Love it.
Um, but she was during the holidays, I think she's still doing it though. She was on a quest for like knee-high boots that fit bigger calves because she has big calves. And she was
I didn't
like,
know that.
yeah. And
It
so
looks
that's
like
why
a
I
tiny
started
little
following her.
thing.
Yeah. And so she was like, all these companies make these boots for these little tiny calves. Like, what
Right.
about the
The
rest of
big
them?
calves. Yeah.
Right. And so she started doing the series, and someone had commented, oh, you should start a boot line. And she said, no, I don't
Yes.
want to.
I
I don't,
remember this.
yeah,
I
I don't
remember
want
this
to.
video. Mm-hmm.
How about the companies just be more inclusive? Like, I don't want to start, Black women don't want to start everything. And I thought about that. Like, why
Say it.
we, Black
Say
women,
it.
are not your pioneers?
Say it.
We
Oh my
don't
God. I
want
almost
to
threw
be the
something.
first to do XYZ. We
Yes.
just have to be the first to do XYZ.
A sermon on the Mount
Yes. We
again.
don't want to be the first,
Yes.
and I'm talking in every
Oh my
state
God.
of everything, right? I'm
I'm so
talking about in the
tired.
medical field. We don't want to be the first to have
Yes.
ever been doing this crazy surgery, okay? We have to be because you guys have not allowed Black women the opportunity to be in those rooms. We
Okay.
don't want to be the first person to be a CEO on this board. We have to be because you never allowed us a seat at the table. We don't want to be the first to be
That.
the engineer or whatever
That.
in NASA on the moon. I don't care.
Say
We
it.
have to be because you guys have never allowed us in those spaces. We don't want to be the first Black
Can I
woman
add it?
president at Harvard. We
Can I
have
add?
to be
Can I add to it?
because you never allowed us into those spaces. Stop looking to Black women to be the pioneers. We're fucking tired.
Hello. Hello, somebody.
We're fucking tired. We don't want to be the first to do
We
those
don't.
things. We
We
have
don't.
to be.
Can I
And
add to it?
yes,
Can I
yes.
add
And
to it?
and really quick though,
Yeah.
for 2023 for us to be still saying the first Black woman to do
Ooh,
this YZ,
say it.
y'all should be fucking ashamed of yourselves.
Say it.
Listen, drops mic.
No, that was it. That's the whole mic. Pick
The
it
whole
back up.
podcast. And
Pick it back up. Because here's the thing. If there's a difference between a company that started even 5-10 years ago and they're having their first Black whatever. Okay, well,
yes.
it's the fucking institutions that have been around for hundreds of years to dare say they are having their first Black something. That, while I commend the person doing the job, because we give flowers to people who are doing the damn thing. Y'all should be a goddamn shame. I'm gonna say this real quietly. Like when the moms grab you at church and you done been acting up, and they bring you real close. They bring you real close so you could feel the death.
It's terrifying too.
You could bring
if you got a Black mama, when they pull you close, you are terrified.
I'm bringing you close. Laugh because I thought of a bunch of memories, but we'll get back to that another time. I'll be bringing you close. It is a goddamn shame that after 100, 200, 300 years of existence, you in the year of our Lord 2020 anything are just getting around to noticing that Black people are capable, able, qualified, and ready to have these leadership positions. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. The promotion should come with an apology. The promotions should come with an apology for not being able to see that people who just aren't white are also capable of these jobs, are also
About to
brilliantly
get out my
able to
seat.
these jobs, because I'm so sick and so tired of y'all promoting this thing like, oh, look at us, whoop-de-doo, we're so great. No, you are not. You are trash. What you are saying, what you are opening the door for is saying you are trash, and you've been trash for a long ass time because you just noticed, oh, the Negroes, they can do it too. What the hell's wrong with y'all?
Girl.
What is wrong with y'all? And let me compound this. To any of you knuckle draggers who want to say that we are
Not the
diversity
knuckle
hires
draggers.
after it's been hundreds of years of uncles and cousins and daddies and sons who have been grandfathered into certain things. Meanwhile, we in our households have been raised to do twice as much, 3 times as much, 5 times as much, 10 times as much, and expect half the results. Which we are tossing that out. I'll be damned. That is a curse that we will no longer say to our children. No, but back to y'all, because I'm yelling at y'all. How dare you think?
Come on in, racist Uncle Billy Bob. Lean in.
Come on in. Come on in. I know you're not listening to the show, but your niece
Somebody
is.
send it to him.
Listen, your white niece is, and she's going to send it to you, okay? She's going to
No,
play it
you
in the
know he
car
probably
while she's
is,
taking you
because
to your doctor's appointment.
they're angrily typing from their Meemaw's basement, so you know they'd be listening. It'd be Meemaw's basement for me.
I get so tired of people wanting to say that we are the diversity hires when they don't realize what they're unintentionally saying is, I expect a white face, no matter what their qualifications are, whether even if they're less qualified, to occupy the space that you, Black person, Black woman, Black man, Black non-binary human being, how dare you occupy that space when even somebody who's not as qualified or least qualified, as long as they have a white face, they deserve that spot. That's essentially what you're saying. So now I saw a post actually the other day that said, if someone asks you if you're a diversity hire, ask them if they're a white supremacy hire.
Girl, I was just
about
to say, when you said diversity hire, I was about to say, I'm using that.
Use it.
I'm using it.
And loudly too. Mm-hmm.
I'm about to. You see that girl on TikTok who somebody will say something and then she pulls out the book and writes it down? I love her. I'm about to literally get a notebook with like anti-racist clapbacks, because some of y'all are fucking hilarious.
Unbelievable.
White supremacy hire though.
Are you a white supremacy hire?
Oh, are you the diversity hire? Are you the white supremacy hire?
Are you white supremacy hire?
Huh?
Daddy bought a building.
Oh,
Daddy
now we're both offended.
Your feelings are hurt. What's that feel like? What's that feel like? Tell me what that feels like. I'm an air. I told you, I'm the I will bring the gasoline. I will bring the gasoline. I'll bring the Vaseline. I'll bring whatever you need to start the fight.
Not good for each other.
Not at all. This is just destruction and chaos over here.
Your destruction, I'm chaos.
Quite
yeah.
Merch.
I love that. That honestly should be the name of the podcast. Destruction and chaos.
But here's the thing. It's like, the things that we're trying to be destructive and chaotic about are the systems that have
disrupting the fucking systems.
Yeah, they've been oppressive to so many people, not just Black people, but to white people too. And white people don't even realize that.
But okay, so in that same sense of like where you said breaking those norms of like having to work twice as hard and expecting like the minimum. Okay, I'm coming to drag you.
Oh no, man! What did I do?
Collect your tea so you can get this little drag. You posted a story the other day, and I almost dragged you in your DMs, but I was feeling a little under the weather, so you got lucky. You put out such amazing incredible content all the time for free. Like, if you're not following Whitney, honestly, by this point, why are you even
being
like
very
listening to
kind.
this
She's
podcast?
being
Because like
extraordinarily kind.
is a resource. Like, I get resource from the resource, right? Like, Whitney is just a brilliant writer, but just like a brilliant mind in the way that she puts things together. I think a lot of times where people miss the mark, and even sometimes I have to like check myself on this, is people have, and it's terrible, but the world has such a short ass attention span.
My lord.
Like, you
So
have
good
to do
job.
like be catchy and do all these things to catch people's attention. And Whitney has mastered like, hey, I'm not going through all these fucking aesthetics and hoops and color palettes and shit to catch your attention.
Damn.
But her words do it like right away. You're like, oh, okay, let me listen. And what's she about to say? So anyway, she's been posting all of this stuff, but apparently one of the posts that you posted must have really caught people's attention, and they wanted to know how they could compensate you. And you said, oh, I still feel uncomfortable doing this.
Oh no.
Okay, you're getting dragged. Yeah, I'm dragging you.
I'm cringing.
In 2024, I said, okay,
You did.
I said,
You did.
I don't look, I'm somebody's mama now. I said we are accepting our flowers, okay? Not just accepting our accepting our flowers comes in different forms. That's money. Okay, we're collecting our flowers, we're collecting our affirmations, we're collecting our fucking paychecks.
Well,
we're collecting our coins, and we're collecting our peace. Okay? People asking to compensate you is bare minimum for what you do. Donations is bare minimum for what you do, because if we're being honest, your page should be fucking paid in a subscription page in general. They shouldn't have access to your page for free. So the next time somebody asks you, hey, what's your Venmo? What's your Cash App so I can pay you? You just give them your Venmo, Whitney123, thank you, and that's it.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah.
Thank you, friend.
Because we are living a life where we're already taking years off of our life so that we can educate the masses. We have children too. Just like some of y'all wake up every day and I see some of your rusty, crusty, dusty asses get on Instagram and you're like, I can't speak about this because my mental health. Well, I have children and I need to. Well, good for you.
Too.
I also have children.
Yeah.
And you know what? I have to find time in between my children to be an activist for the fucking world. Yeah. Not because I want to be. One, because, you know, I feel like it's ingrained in me. Like, I feel like I have to do this for my culture and for my people. Shouldn't feel like that, but I shouldn't. That's how I feel. Yeah. And two, I have children that I know if I don't do something.
Right.
My part, even the least, they are going to live just a chaotic life as I am. And I don't want my children to be activists. But you get to wake up every day and just turn it off with your privileged asses. And, oh, I just want to make pancakes and make magic for my kids. Yeah, I'm doing that as well.
Yeah, I'm making magic for my daughter too. But guess what? I'm caping up at nighttime and I'm studying and I'm reading and I'm doing all of these things.
So you're telling me you can't pick up a fucking book or advocate for people or post a donation link or donate some of those damn coins that you get that you stole from a Black woman, if we're being honest, because of the pay wage gap.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon,
so
good evening.
Some of your salary is part of a Black woman's salary, if we want to be honest.
My goodness.
And Black men, Black men, white men, I know you're probably not listening to this podcast. If you are, hi.
Hey, y'all.
Please. But I'm going to drag you too, because
we're all getting dragged.
You got white women's paycheck on your paycheck, and you got Black women's paycheck, and you got Black men's paycheck in yours. So you really should be paying reparations. So the whole, like, I got to take my man. What about us?
And then this is the thing, like that they don't understand, because there's an expectation. You Black woman, you have to.
What are you doing?
Show us the way. You lead us. But then when it gets too hard, oh no, too much. My brain, my heart.
Was it? Who said? I don't remember who said it recently. No, Brittany. What's her name? Last name. She's a writer. Brittany
Packnet. Brittany Packnet.
Yes.
I love her.
And she
I
said
adore her.
it's always listen to black women until it's,
Mhm.
something you don't want to do.
Hello?
It's,
He
and then she said, throw the whole campaign away. Throw away the pink pussy hats.
Throw
Throw
away
away
the
the
shirt.
signs.
All of them.
Throw it away. We don't want it anymore because
Nope.
it's not real.
No, it's not. It's not. No. Nope.
It's listen to black women when we're telling you, hey, we need more pay. The trickle down effects that y'all thought, like when white women start receiving
No.
better pay, it'll
No.
trickle down. The trickle down's not working.
Trickle down has never worked.
Never worked
That trickle has never come down.
because the rich and the powerful, okay,
Just
when
hold
it
on
starts
to it.
trickling, they're like, oh, catch it, oh, catch it, and so it never
Mhm.
trickles down. They got a
It
drip
never
pan
trickles down.
under the trickle.
Not a drip.
The drip pan, okay. I had to do the illustrations for those if this makes
Peeped.
it to our Patreon.
I peeped it.
Yeah,
Girl, listen, you made my eyes water with that whole I don't want my kid to be an activist. And when I tell you, like, I'm raising her in such a way that she sees people's humanity
mm,
before she sees, before she thinks about things that might be like disruptive. And, she's only 3. So, like, there's only so
right,
much I could do. Right.
right,
But
right.
she goes to the playground and it's just, look at all these friends. She goes to church and she literally said, look at all my cousins. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay, cousins. All right. I'm
Yeah,
riding
sure.
with it. Yeah, right. Now, you brought tears to my eyes because I'm thinking about all these generational things that our parents had to do and their parents had to
Mm.
do, and how we have to have the talk and how we have to sit our young children down. Like, there
Just,
was
just had it a couple months ago with
oh
my oldest.
shit.
He was like, so the school he goes to, it's very diverse, I will say, so
Mhm.
that's good. But he has a good mix of friends. He has a
Mhm.
probably I'd say probably a good 50-50 split at this point. But he was doing something or saying something, and like he was like he's one of those, so he has ADHD, takes
Mhm.
medicine, but towards the end of the day it kind of wears off.
Mhm.
And in one of his classes the teacher was like, he's really respectful, like that's not an issue, he's just really busy after his work. All right, I was like, cool, we're monitor it, and
Yeah.
but I had to talk to him and I said, hey, you don't oh, I know what it was. He started hanging out after school. Clifton has Spanish, and on the
Mhm.
days that Clifton has Spanish, sometimes Jay Sean doesn't have track practice. So he wanted to
Mm.
be able to like hang out with friends a little bit around the school. And I was like, that's fine. There's like
Right.
a basketball court, all that around the school, and it's only like an hour.
Right.
So I'm like, that's fine as long as you don't go anywhere. But I had to have the
Like,
talk.
stay
I said,
safe.
hey, you don't get to do what those white kids do. And
Mhm.
he's like, what do you mean? I was like, there's no young dumb kids for you.
No.
There's no mistake for you.
No.
There's no I didn't think about it for you. You don't do something. I said at the least you're getting expelled.
At the
At the
very least,
most, it's
you're not coming home.
it's going to be worse than that.
Yeah.
You can get, and I told him. I said it. I was very blunt. I said you can get in trouble with the law or you can be killed.
Right.
I said you are a threat.
Mhm.
I said you are not a cute, young, chubby face. You're
No
not
one's
your
gonna
little
look at
brother.
you. Right.
I said you are taller than me. You are dark skinned. You are a threat.
Mhm.
And after I had that conversation, I went in my room and cried. Because what? But you can't talk to your white child about allyship
Mm. And this is
because
the
race
thing.
is too much?
And they don't think about this.
What?
I wrote, so I tried, all right, can I get a little autobiographical? I tried to publish a piece 2 years ago,
Mm,
discussing, I talked to a bunch of different parents, like 15, 20 different parents, Black parents, because there was this omission in the narratives where they were talking about, CRT and banning books and stuff like that. It was always a white parent that they were talking to. And I was like, they
really?
never talk every single time I've seen it, every time I see an article about it
Yeah.
or a news feature about it, it was always a white parent. And I said,
Mm,
where are the Black parents? Why is nobody asking Black parents how we feel about the education our children are receiving? How
right.
come
That's
no
a
one
good
has
question.
ever considered what Black parents feel about the education our kids are
Right.
receiving? And then there was a poll. NBC did a poll and said, when did you first start talking to your kids about race and racism? And Black people kind of laughed about that poll because we're like, we don't get the opportunity to just have these conversations
Have a
as
talk.
as if there's some far off thing. It's
Right.
usually we talk to our children because something has happened. Like, and
It's ongoing.
I'm looking at some of these answers. People were as young as 4 years old. My daughter's 3. 4 years old. Some kid didn't want to play with them. They didn't understand it because we are all, when you go to the playground, everybody's a friend, right? And
Mm.
they say something horrible. The kid gets in the car. You're like, hey, what's up? What's wrong? They tell you what happened. You damn near have a car accident because you're like,
Happened to Jay Sean in daycare when he was 4. He had a little friend, and he said, I'm gonna use the kid. I still remember the kid's name to this day, but I'm gonna say Billy.
mm-hmm,
Billy doesn't want to play with me anymore, and I was like, why? You and Billy always play together. Well, Billy said he can't give me a hug because Billy's dad said that chocolate boys and vanilla boys don't play together. When I tell you, I tried to pick up Jay Sean at the same time, hoping that Billy's dad would be there every day.
mm-hmm.
We never ran into each other, but
That
every
might be for
single
the
day,
best.
yes,
Might have been for the
um,
best.
every single day, and I gave him some advice that I wish I didn't give him. Now, looking
mm-hmm,
back at it, which is I think so reminiscent of like what parenthood is, right? Living and learning.
mm-hmm,
But at the time I said, well, you know what? You go to school anyway and you give Billy a hug and tell him you love him. And I wish I didn't give him that advice. Not because I
mm-hmm.
think it's Billy's fault, because it's not his
It's
fault that
not. No,
he
he's
has
a
all this
child.
process. I
Right.
wish I didn't give him that advice because that's not his job.
That's
It's
not
not his job to
it's
change minds.
not his
And
job.
at the time I was like, yeah, we're gonna change minds. Martin Luther King. Nope,
Nope.
not your job. It's sad, and it's not, like I said, it's not Billy's fault, but
It's not.
we're not here to change Billy's mind.
No. No, that's not
We're
your
we're
job.
4. Be
You
4.
don't have to act. No, no, no. And you know what? I respect you. I
Mm,
respect you for calling yourself in
mm,
that moment because so many of us,
thank
you
you.
see it online. Like if some racist incident happens, the first thing people say is like, "Oh, I forgive. Oh, I forgive." And I'm like, if we haven't had the opportunity to process this as a community, how can we jump to forgiveness? That's not real forgiveness. That and it emboldens these patterns like, oh, it's going to be okay anyway because the Black community is so forgiving, so forgiving. I remember Langston Hughes wrote in this poem, um Negroes, sweet, docile, and mild. I'm butchering this. Sweet, docile, and mild, beware the day they change their mind.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I know
I
what one you're
butchered
talking
that.
about.
I butchered it.
It's the
Sorry,
same, but
Langston.
sweet, docile, and mild, and
Yeah.
changing their mind is pretty
Yeah.
much the premise of the poem. Yes.
Kind and mind. Yeah, because it rhymes. But that's that's been our community forever. We fight for equality. People are lucky that we're not fighting for revenge. And
Girl, that is my favorite little I forget the exact quote, but
yeah,
that is my favorite little saying. Be
yeah.
lucky we want equity and equality and not revenge.
And
Because
leave us the hell
Jesus,
alone. Leave us alone. We don't want
we want
the
to mind our
way
black ass business.
we are occupying free space in the minds of bigots when we just literally just want to exist as a human being.
Yeah.
Just want to exist as a human being, minding our own business, not doing anything. And here you come. And
Worrying
I really,
about what hairstyle we have.
okay.
I mean,
I want to settle into this conversation though about parenting and having these talks with our children because, you know, it's so difficult and it's not something I really heard like discussed between adults. Like,
oh,
I've talked to my mother and I've talked to my father and I've talked to my grandparents and I've talked to my great grandmother. I was blessed to have her till I was almost 30. And like we just keep passing this same thing down because we're so conditioned to raising our children not to be like thrivers, but to literally just survive. We are so conditioned to raising our children to survival. We can't even free them of the responsibilities, even at young ages, to do the work of racial healing. But I love what you said when you said that's not your job. Your job
yeah.
is to exist and be four.
Yeah,
Eat these
before.
cookies and play with these stickers and mind your
Yeah.
own little 4-year-old business.
Like, I wish if I could go back in time, what I would have told him is, I'm so sorry, first of all, because a friendship ending is terrible as an adult. So
That's
at
a whole
4,
nother episode. That's a whole nother episode, child.
4 probably was like someone died. Okay, so I
Okay.
would have said, I'm so sorry that Billy no longer wants to play with you, or Billy's dad has is not a kind person. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
you are resilient and you
Mm-hmm.
are joyful and you are kind and you are sweet. And I think you will make friends with people who value you as you
Mm-hmm.
are, people and their parents who
Mm-hmm.
value you as the beautiful brown boy that you
Mm-hmm.
are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to be sad about it, but
Yeah.
we're going to have to find some new friends
You're allowed to grieve the
because I
loss of
don't
your
want you
friendship.
even in
Yeah.
that environment.
Mm-mm. No, that's not a person I want you to be around because that's
And
not safe for you.
right. And so when you guys say things like, well, kids don't know about race, but you just instantly you turned Billy into a white supremacist.
Turn the baby.
In that moment at 4 years
Mm-hmm.
old, you made Billy's foundation white supremacy
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Core memory.
immediately. Yes, because he's
Mm-hmm.
always going to remember chocolate boys and vanilla boys don't play together.
They don't play together.
That's the foundation of
Mm-hmm.
his childhood.
And think about it. When you're a child, you listen to your parents because you love them.
I
And
mean,
so your bigotry and your racism is attached to the sick cycle of love, and it's
mm,
in that's
mm,
wait, I think we went
girl, we're
somewhere.
gonna do a joint post
I think we
about
went somewhere because your love for your parent and your love for your family is wrapped up in the things that they taught you. And if
mm,
they taught you racism, it's hard to look at people that you love and unbind that love from the racism that you were taught because it's all interconnected. Girl, we just went somewhere.
I'm like looking confused because that was just so deep
We
that
just
I'm
went
like mind processing it because
That's why y'all act like this. That's
because
why you act like this. That's why you act like this about your Southern culture and
yeah,
this is why you act like this
because
about
your
the
racism
Confederate
is bound
flag.
up in love.
Because your granddaddy who took you fishing and who adored you and kissed you on the head and told you that you were beautiful and was kind to you was also a bigot, and that's hard to process. And instead of
Because you
processing
love
that,
him.
because you love him so much and because he meant so much to you, oh well.
Moment of silence.
Wow.
Because it's weird because I've always and I still think it's wrapped up in hate, right? So the foundation obviously of racism is hate.
Mhm.
But from people who have had it generationally passed down, which is honestly everybody
Everybody.
until you get to the very first person. The
Everybody.
very first person's racism was bound up in hate. But the
Mhm.
reason why the racism is so strong that it's able to continue is because it's bound up in love.
In
Oh,
love
Jesus.
for the people that taught it to you. What a sick cycle. What a sick cycle to continue generation after generation.
Girl,
It's so deep and it's so enwrapped around folks that they can't even attempt to dismantle the knot of it because it goes back so far. Because when would it have even started? And that it's an unraveling process. That's why we call it doing the work. You have to literally unravel deep things about yourself for accepting it, and then you have to forgive yourself because you're like, oh, I was only 4 when I learned that black boys
yeah.
and when I learned that chocolate boys and vanilla boys don't play together.
Also
You got to
why I
forgive
say there's no
yourself.
such thing as arriving for white people, right? There's no such thing as arriving because if you listen to what we just said, the very
Mm,
start of racism was bound up in hate,
mm-hmm.
but all of the racism that is generational is bound up in love.
Mm-hmm.
It takes life for you to unbound that. And
Mm-hmm.
you may never completely unbind it to your death. So there is no way that you can arrive at this, at something that has been I'm not talking about when it was passed down to you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not talking about if you're 30, I'm not talking about the 30 years of it being bound up. I'm talking about the hundreds of
Hundreds of
years
years.
that it's been bound up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way that you can even do the work for 10 years and be like, oh, I've arrived. You might
There's
have
no such
arrived
thing.
at being less harmful for Black people, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to speak for Black people because I can't speak for other
Can't
communities.
speak for everybody. Yeah.
You might have arrived at being a less harmful person to be around and to be in space in 10 years, but you can never arrive at fully being freed from the shackles of something
Mm-hmm.
that has been there since hundreds of years before you.
Right. Speaking specifically of anti-Black racism.
Anti-Black. I'm not speaking for any other community.
Yeah.
But
Girl. God damn it.
not saying another we are ending the episode
right
there because I feel like I have to process this.
I need to journal. Like, I mean,
like, girl, a book could be. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna say too much for somebody listening because you know them culture roaches.
If you steal it, we have it recorded. We have it recorded right here, okay? And we will be the loud ass Blacks with the Vaseline and the gasoline ready.
Robin might be listening. Robin might be listening. She gonna be like, "Oh, this my next best selling."
Don't steal, girl.
Don't Christopher Columbus our shit.
Let's go ahead and get that group that collaboration post because like
immediately.
My brain is going. My brain is going. I can't.
I have 1,000 words.
Wow. Patreon. You want to talk?
I'm like, let me drop the Patreon. If you are not part of our Patreon, once again, y'all, it allows us to keep this podcast running. It allows us to pay an editor. We don't even make profits yet. Okay, we have not arrived, but we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there, and I'm gonna keep claiming it out loud every podcast episode. If you're a network, pick this podcast up because you need 2 bomb-ass Black women and a bomb-ass podcast on your network.
We were keying just a second ago, and we just arrived to a crazy
mind-blowing. And if you're a publishing company,
hey,
a book.
We're sitting right here.
We're sitting right here. We'll get this on and popping for you.
Listen,
not for free. Okay?
No.
But cut the check.
Anyway. Like Rihanna said,
there's different level tiers. You can go on there. I'll leave it in the show notes, or the editor will leave it in the show notes, and you can go on there and you can see the different tiers that fit your needs. But just it helps you support us. It helps you keep this podcast going, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye, guys.